Water. Get my brushes out. Use shade. Good. All right. Best to usually start inside out. So I'll start with his pants. So he's Incubi Darkness. Another Kelermorph. And get the gray on there with boots and stuff and the rubber pads. I think that's going to be Mechanicus Standard Gray. Oh, hey, Fearless Oni. How's it going? It's a load of fun. Super relaxing. So this guy's got 3 arms. He's kind of like a cowboy. About the same as earlier. How do you mean? Oh, the relaxing part. Yeah. Super relaxing. I used to see painting as a chore, but now I've kind of learned to enjoy it. Screwed up. Oh well. I'll just paint over. It's a happy mistake. As the old Bob Ross says. How's the video quality? Streaming from the basement. And the Wi-Fi is weakest where I am at. So, kind of making do with what I have. Covered up. It's actually pretty good. See if I can improve the sliding. Let me get some. Eh. Goodbye, and more light coming in. There we go. That's a bit better. And I can actually kind of see what I'm... No, can't put it there, though. It's right from my face. Oh, the struggle is real. Okay. Does that even help if I turn it off? Oh, yeah. That helps. Yep, that's probably about as good as we're getting it. Light-wise, should get the light mounted on the GoPro. That'd be sweet. Alright, just touch that up a bit. Do the Genestealer flesh. How did I do this one? I think it was Cantor Blue McCrag. Build that up. That's a fresh pot. Just to grab the wrong one. The master at work. Thank you. I don't think I'm a master, but the compliments are appreciated. Thank you. How's the stream quality? Wow, I gotta say, it's been a while since I painted Genestealer Cult. Looks solid, awesome, thank you. I am trying to remember how I did all the parts so I am consistent overall. Might have to run and grab a couple of my other models for reference. Been painting a lot of Eldar lately, among others. Kill teams. Well, that dries. I can quick grab a couple other models that match my scheme so I can use them for reference. And I have returned. So some other models I painted. This is my uh, Locust Magus. Wow. Um, he's a character. All right, so I did like a purple and a skin tone blend. The Genestealer hands. It's just straight up Genestealer right here. So that's what I did for the blues, and then a Acolyte hybrid. All right, so I'll just set these guys over here for reference, so I can keep my scheme consistent. Okay. I think we're gonna do purple. Yeah. Hands. I think that was a mix of Xerxes and Genestealer, if I am not mistaken. Nice little 50-50 mix. Get that all over the hands. Should find some twitchable music that won't get me copyrighted, or streamable music. Just have it kind of playing in the background. Maybe next time. An item for research. The main reason I wanted to paint this guy tonight, so I can use him in a game tomorrow. Ben, friends coming over, we're gonna play some Kill Team. So that'll be fun. Ooh. Get everything. Bit touch up on the hands. Okay. I'm gonna start layering up on the paints a little bit. How did I do that? Looks like, okay. A little bit of Thunderhawk blue. Tell Ben I said hi and love him. Yes. You can tell that yourself when he shows up. I think he'll get here before you start streaming. Gonna layer up a little bit of this 50/50 Thunderhawk and Incubi Darkness. pants. Oh, it's kind of hard to get in there with this pose. But that's okay. Okay, I think we're ready for a first wash. Where's my junk brush? There we go. Magical Null Oil liquid. That goes over all the skin, all the boots. The pants. Genestealer purple. Layer a little bit of that before I do the wash. Methinks. Layer has some skin tones to the hands. He's not gone full Genestealer. Has mutations yet. Such a fun army. Oh, I missed the spot of Null Oil. Right up in here. That gets it. Look at that, he's already coming to life. Okay, let's do the... I guess we'll do the armor underneath. So that's just going to be Corax white. Or no, I think I did Celestial Gray, Celestia Gray, and then built up to White Scar. always easier to paint inside out. So starting with the inner details and working your way out. I'm gonna do some Druky Violet over the Genestealer hands. Beautiful. Just let the shades do all the work. I think I'm gonna start his cloak, crochet. I'll do the armor some more. Alright. Eastland Gray, our next latest shade. White's kind of a pain. Build up to it. You don't want to put it on too thick either, so do a bunch of thin coats. Just takes forever. Does anyone play Darktide? The beta? Thank you. Yeah, these are the guys I put the most effort into, so they take a long time to paint. But I think they look the best out of all my armies. A lot of layering. One character isn't so bad, but when you got like a squad of 10 models. Yeah, it is a lot like Vermintide. I like the setting better though. I'm a more of a 40k fan versus the classic fantasy. I had a lot of fun with it. I only did like 4 hours though, so not a whole lot of beta play, but definitely planning on picking that up when it comes out. I think. Excuse me. All right, let's do Steel Legion Drab for his cloak he's wearing, dirty brown. Or maybe I should do Morn Fang and then Steel Legion. Pretty sure once at least, yeah, nice. I keep telling Avery she needs to get it too. Then we can get a crew going. And kill some cultists. So fun. Nice. Scaring our animals with my sneezes. Avery doesn't like first-person shooter games. Yeah, well, she could play as like the warrior, priestess or priest. They're kind of melee, or the Bulgrim tank guy. Just kind of hacking and slashing, really. Well, this is an Apex. Apex is stupid. But Avery, you play Overwatch. The double melee carry would be fine. Yeah, totally. Just hacking at cultists running at you, poxwalkers. Man, it's such a fun game. Can you imagine being thrown in that situation with just a shovel? So Warhammer, I love it. Absolutely love it. I think it is a support class. And Avery loves playing support classes. I'm good. I have no time for another game. You don't have time for another game? This trial will end at some point, and you'll have all the time in the world for another game. That's fair. I am just happy that you play Kill Team with me. It's a lot of fun. You think it's gonna be a whole nother week? Absolutely insane. They looked like a tricky kit to assemble, not gonna lie. You did a great job. He needs an award. Well, it couldn't have been that bad, was it? It wasn't that bad, sheesh. Trying to mix up some different tones to break up the browns a bit. Everything doesn't look the same. Ain't that bandolier? Man, he's got like a belt tucked in here. Steady hand, steady hand. I'm being dramatic, but it was a lot harder than I thought. Yeah, I mean, assembling is my least favorite part. I was putting together the Into the Dark terrain and kill teams the other day, and it's like, oh yeah, I'll just put these together and then prime them and I'll be good to go. But just kept on assembling and it wasn't ending, and I was still doing it, and it always takes way longer than I think it's going to. I just don't like cleaning up the mold lines from the sprues and clipping them, and once you get to gluing it's not so bad, but I don't know, I just don't like cleaning all the pieces. When you drop a little piece, you're like, oh crap, where'd it go? You're digging all over for it. It's always no fun. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It's just keeping me company. Otherwise, I'd be just down here listening to like an audiobook or something. In the zone. Okay. Medium layer brush. That's a medium shade. Medium layer. Layer up some more brown on the coat. Steel Legion Drab. It's gonna try to lightly layer this on. Have you heard of the book Series Foundation? Because Avery has not yet. I have not. I usually listen to Warhammer audiobooks because the lore is as wide as an ocean and deep as a puddle, but I love it. So I can Warhammer while I paint my Warhammers. Series Foundation. What is it? Is it sci-fi, fantasy? Hello, Element Air. Painting is going. Thanks for joining us. First time streaming on the channel. Thought I'd give it a go. Usually down here painting so much, I thought maybe I'd just start streaming every now and then. Yeah, it's sci-fi. Well, I'll have to check that book out. It sounds interesting. Spent most of my day doing it a Redemptor. Ooh, very cool. I want to get me one of those for my Space Marines. Just ever growing list of things I want to get. Hardest thing is prioritizing what to do next. So I'm working on this guy for a kill team for a game tomorrow. I'm playing. There's a special Genestealer Cult kill team from White Dwarf issue. I don't remember which one it was, but I picked it up and I'm really eager to use that. Give that a shot. Let's use some of the special characters like a Kelermorph or a Locust, in addition to some neophyte hybrids. So I had this Kelermorph on the shelf, just waiting to get painted, so thought I'd try to knock it out today so I can use them tomorrow in a game. Okay. What chapter of Space Marines are you doing, Redemptor, for your Dreadnought element? Dark Kraken, Salamanders, but purple and black. Ooh, very cool. Salamanders are pretty cool. They are one of the cooler chapters out there. I know I'm pretty basic with my Ultramarines, but there's some history there. My brother played them back in the day when we used to play back in 6th edition, and I took a hiatus from the hobby for a while and got back into it with the Indominus box in 9th edition, and I thought I'd pick up the Ultramarines, kind of carry on that mantle. And maybe if he ever decides to play again with me, I'll have him use them. His old army. Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to say all Primaris is difficult since there are so many limited flamers. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing a mix. I have some Firstborn and some Primaris. I need to get some Terminators built up because that's what my army is really lacking. Get dirty, get clean. Hate painting white. Space Wolves is all firstborn, but they have orcs, Necrons, various stage of building. Yeah, that is the struggle. Multiple armies. I've been working on Genestealer cults all year. I only have like a 1,500 points fieldable. I mean, I could throw in some Imperial Guard as Brood Brothers, but it's not the most optimal build. But I'm looking to get them on a battle report on the channel in the near future. Actually, possibly versus the Salamanders. So that'll be fun. Move on to next while that's drying. Maybe the pipes. Yeah, let's do the pipes on the base. I want to do a Tyranid army at some point. Yes, Tyranids. Those are my jam. That's my original army I did a long time ago when I was a kid. Um, and built out more in recent year. They are quite fun. Really enjoy playing Tyranids. There's actually not many armies where I wouldn't see myself wanting to play or collect. They're all very cool. You know, I thought this guy would take me forever, but he's actually going pretty quickly. That's always a good thing. Yeah, the Tyranids are super fun right now. Pretty much everything in the Codex is a viable take, and everything is really good. They're just very high power right now. And the rules are really thematic. They fit the theme really well and the lore, which is also a plus. Yeah, they are fun to paint, and you can also paint them pretty quickly. 'Cause they're pretty forgiving, being all just like organic shapes and whatnot. So my paint scheme is mostly just dry brushing and a little bit of like wash on the carapace, and then yeah, it's very basic, but it's passable and it's great. So it works well for cranking out huge swaths of termagants and hormagaunts and all that stuff. They look pretty easy to paint too with contrast paints. A buddy of mine's doing Kraken, High Fleet, and he's doing all contrast paints, and they're looking pretty good, and he's been able to crank those out pretty fast as well. They also lend themselves really well to magnetization. Carnifex has so many options, so I ended up magnetizing my Carnifex brood so I can do any loadout options with them, which is fun. Yeah, I painted up the whole orc kill team doing kind of that slap chop method or under shading, and that seems to really make the contrast paints look even better. I think because you get better contrast than you normally would with just a plain white base coat. So that might be my go-to for when I need to maybe some of my kill teams to just get them done. Oh, I still prefer the classic look. Get more control, I think, of how it's going to turn out and the layering and whatnot. But contrast paints are a great option. Or to use it in addition to regular traditional paints. Like what I'm doing right now. Doing some skeleton horde over the skulls. Just because it looks so nice. It's my new recipe for skulls. Ooh, I ruined our brass. It's about dried up. To get some more. Speed painting too many Necrons. A bit of brass. Let's see here. What comes next? Brass Scorpion. Get that cult icon. Grab his belt buckle. That'll look cool as Brass Scorpion. Get that knife blade handle. Also, I like to do their little breather piece speaker thing. I don't know what that is actually. The front of their armor. Brass Scorpion. There we go. Oof. Walmart craft paints. Oh wow. Bold. Although with enough water you can and thinning, you can probably paint with pretty much just about anything. And patience. All right. Back to the skin, or the Genestealer flesh. Just gonna layer in some Macragge mixed with Cantor blue. And pick out those prominent raised areas. 6,000 layers of, yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, I'm finding that the secret to white is not to paint white, but to paint gray. Work your way up to white, or reserve white just for highlights. I've been doing that with my Bealtan Eldar force, and that's been working out pretty well. So I do Apothecary White contrast paint with that over just a Grey Seer base coat, and then dry brush over Uthlon Gray, and then yeah, Skull White or White Scar for those final highlights, and that works out really well. Pretty pleased with how that turned out. Super easy too, because it's mostly just contrast paint. So it's a nice tool to use. Okay. What color is that? Is that rust gray maybe, or Fenrizine? I'll do Fenrizine. Can't remember what colors I used to highlight. Very carefully. Yeah, I should probably start doing that. Um, Keeping a notebook of your paint schemes. Well, some of I know pretty well, but yeah, these more complicated ones. Although I did a couple of videos on my paint scheme for Genestealer Cult stuff earlier, so luckily I have those as reference. So it's kind of like my own notebook there. Highlights on the hands. I love putting on the highlights. Well, I love hate it. It's kind of tedious, but it really brings the whole model to life. Those guns need some silicon gray. Kelermorph, such a cool model. Genestealer Cult Gunslinger. Oh yeah, highlights do enhance the model so much. Definitely worth the effort. Right, speaking of highlights, what do we do for the cloak? Yeah, maybe Baneblade Brown. It kind of looks like it's highlighted, but that's just the actual light reflecting off the cloak. Let's see if I can do anything to improve my lighting setup here, so we can see what's going on better. Steady hand, steady hand. I'm liking the way this is turning out. It will never be as good as the box art. Or you will always find stuff online that's better than your paint jobs. And that's okay. As long as you're happy with it. That's all that really matters. Keep practicing. All that good stuff. Why, I sound like Bob Ross. Yeah, that's right. Always gotta keep trying new stuff. And one thing I did, I did the Avatar of Cain Warhammer Plus um, masterclass. I just went through the steps, and just going through that with like a guide step by step. You know, use this color, practicing all those techniques. I feel like just doing that improved a lot of stuff for me, and just kind of learning more about color and how to build up highlights better. Um, so I'd recommend doing one of those kind of real step by step where they focus on technique kind of stuff, or just try to just keep trying to improve. What was I gonna do next? Let's do some blue cobwebs, maybe some cobwebs on the skull. So let's throw a little shade on there. Pipe. Okay. Let's get some brass scorpion on these. Maybe I can get these bullets on his bandolier. Maybe not. Might be kind of hard. Okay. There we go. Getting in there. 2 micro detail, okay. Hmm. Alright, more highlights on the holsters. Let's do this brown I already got on the palette here. Working on my blending. Yeah, blending's kind of tricky. Um, like getting the right paint consistency. And then if you're working with like the base paints or the layer paints, how much water you add varies. Each paint kind of behaves a little differently. Like being able to eyeball the right consistency for how you want it to behave, it's really tricky. I'm definitely still working on that myself. So much to master. So much to practice. Let's see here. Let's get some Nuln Oil on that blade. Magic in a bottle. So shade the inside of this pipe real good. Plasma glow. Yeah, that's really tricky. I've tried that a few times with mixed results. Also, sometimes my faces, they turn out great. Other times they're just kind of okay. I wish I could do faces more consistently better. Yeah, with that plasma glow, it's a little tricky. There's a few good tutorials I've seen. Well, Warhammer Plus has one. Midwinter Minis did one. He's usually got pretty good tutorials. I watch Ninjon. He's a mini painter. He does a lot of really good videos as well. Shows a lot of technique. Yes, absolutely. And also trying to get the contrast and different like skin tone colors you see depending on how the light's hitting, and trying to do that at a miniature scale. It's pretty tricky. Speaking of faces, let's see here. What was the formula for this? I think it was 20% Ushati, 20% Kislev Flesh, and Slaanesh Gray. Sounds right. The eyes, yes. Getting that little dot just right so that they don't look like they're like stumbled upon something terrifying and crapping their pants. It's always a struggle. The flesh. Shut the bone. It's Lanesh Gray. Yes, I think that is the skin tone I'm looking for. Oh yeah. Object source lighting. Oh yeah. Oh, I have not actually tried OSL. It looks. I mean, I've done it a little bit, like with plasma glow. You just kind of dry brush a little bit, like a darker blue around the outside of the gun. But yeah, look, I see a lot of people try it or do it, and they overdo it, or they do it with an airbrush and they just completely blast it. But yeah, when pulled off, it does look quite stunning. I see some really cool ones though. There's this really old one. I think it was in the fourth or third edition Tyranids Codex. Um, where it's like a lictor creeping up on a guardsman, and he's got like his scanner out and lights and stuff, and he's like all glowing green. And I just remember like seeing that a long time ago and completely blowing my mind. Like, how do you paint light like that? That's crazy. Because back then I was only doing base coats and everything, and of course they didn't have all the nice washes and stuff. They just had standard paints and inks. So seeing something like that really blew my mind. All right, skin is done there. Let's do his bandana. Let's get some red. Corn red. Pop of color. Careful not to paint on the skin. Completely ruin what I just did. Woo. Slipped there a little bit. Close call. Very nice. All right. A little bit of droopy violet on the skin. Oh my, that's purple. Wash it down a little bit with some water, thin it out. Go back over and layer a little bit, I think. There we go. That's looking much better actually. I'm happy with that. It's amazing what washes do. Magic in a bottle. Alright, we'll let that head dry a little bit. Go back to the body. I think all I gotta really do is maybe some highlights on the gun, the gray leather. Oh yeah, I'll layer up some white on his armor. And yeah, that's kind of about it, really. Let's get some Iron Breaker on the gun. Oh, he's got his little light. I should probably do that too. If I can try. Hitting that light with some white. Maybe hitting that with a shade or a contrast paint. Just I don't have any yellow contrast, so maybe we'll hit it with a shade once that white dries. But yeah, metal gun, Iron Breaker. Metallic's always kind of weird to highlight. It's usually just the wash looks so great, but you don't want to like do too much highlighting either. Totally negate your wash. Just kind of go pick out a few spots on the gun, make it shine. Oh yeah, look at that. I like that. I like that a lot. Boom, I love it. I love it. Looks good. Okay, finish random. Where are you? There we go. Get a little bit of that on and highlight the gray rubber bits on his boots and such. Very carefully, as to not undo all my previous work. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, I'm also reminded I need to do a little bit more on the pants still. I'm missing a stage that I normally do for all my other guys, the neophytes. And I want to be consistent. So I'll just go in and quickly add those highlights on the pants. Just on the folds, really. I think if I take some this rust gray, mix it in. It's my Thunderhawk blue mixture. Yeah. A little bit of water. Just touch these big folds up here and over here. Luckily he doesn't have a whole lot of pants showing, so it'll make this pretty easy to do. Just a little bit of touch here and there. All right. That's looking pretty good. I should do the base with the old Agrax Earthshade and start letting that dry. Nice healthy coat all around. All right, while that's drying, back to the head. I will think I need to bust out the Pallid Witch flesh and start mixing that into my skin tone mixture. Put that on the side. Mixture going. And mix it with some water. Trying to go for that glaze consistency. Just kind of focus on, still a little bit too thick. There we go. Just kind of start glazing that on the high areas. Yes. And his head, the back. Alright. Screamer Pink. Gotta do those veins on the back of his head. Must. The classic Genestealer Cult. I apologize if my furnace is a little too loud. I am tucked away in the basement. And it is cold outside. So the furnace will be running. Alright. This part always makes me a little nervous. Little veins coming out the back of his head. Just touch these ones sticking out that are sculpted in. Paint's already dry on my brush. Good. Baby. Ooh. And I usually just do a little glaze over the skin tone again, just to tone down the veins. Just a little bit. Okay, now when that dries, I'm going to do the red wash on his bandana. I always struggle with finding the most efficient order to apply these paints. So I'll go inside out, but then I don't like going back to different colors I've already used. Although having a wet palette makes it a little bit easier. But I'm all about efficiency whenever possible. Alright, so while that's drying, back to here, we'll layer on some of that white scar on the armor. And he is almost done. Can't believe it. Just come together real quick. All right, white scar. Just kind of picking out these high areas. Inside his little dome. And then on the back, all these panels, they're sticking out. Couple little details. Black Templar, where are you? Black Templar, there you are. Yeah, let's use a little bit of contrast paints here and there, mixed with the regular paints. Makes little details like this little black hose nice and easy. Some nice blended color in there. A little effort. And we'll try a yellow shade on his shoulder lamp. See how that looks. Ooh. Yeah, I like that a lot. I don't know what I can. Oh yeah, that comes out pretty well on the camera. Sweet. Okay, back to the head. Let's see here. Should probably get his eyes. The dreaded eyes. Oh boy, here we go. Let's find my smallest brush. Right, one eye is white. Other eye is white. And let's get some of these other details. So I'll take my colored witch flesh, mix it in with my skin tone. Some pretty light color flesh tone. I'm just gonna pick out some of these raised areas like his eyebrows. And his ears. And raised cheekbones. There we go. And he's got those Genestealer ridges on his forehead. So we'll come in with the our blues. Just kind of touch those a little bit. All right, now to dot the eyes. Scary part. See if I can pull it off. It's always a roll of the dice. Even painting sometimes is a dice game. You know, not my best work, but on average, not too bad. I think we will keep it. And let's just get some Evil Sun Scarlet highlight on that bandana. Dry brush the base. Glue his head on, do the rim, and I think we can finally call this guy done. just a little bit. Alright, just very carefully pick out the raised bits on his bandana. Evil Sun Scarlet. Nice vibrant red color. All right. What did I do on the base? Was that dry brush of Rakarth flesh, I think? Where are you? Here we go. It's almost done. I'm so excited. I've always wanted a Kelermorph in my force. Fun, cheeky little character. Let's get that base. Rim. Let's see, I usually do those in Ranox High for these guys. I already have some on my palette, which is a double win. Alright, let's get that head glued on, shall we? Let's see here. Just gonna take my knife and scrape away a little bit of that plastic on the inside. Or scrape away the paint, I should say, the primer. To expose the plastic, okay? And we'll give it a little bead of tester's glue. Stuff usually does pretty well with some semi-painted parts. And it'll pop off from my sub-assembly. Okay. Whew. I used super glue, hopefully. I was afraid for a second there that I used too much. I'll just scrape off a little bit of the paint on the bottom of the head. Maybe I should be wearing gloves for this. Oh well. Let's make sure your fingers are clean. Once got like metallic all over a Space Marine Sergeant face that I had just nicely painted. Words were said. Yep, see, I got a little bit of white paint on his bandana. I'll just touch that up with the Evil Sun's Scarlet. All right. We are done with the Kelermorph. He's completed. Ready to cause some mayhem in the Imperium. Well, thanks to everyone who joined me tonight and hung out while I painted this guy up. I might do this again, maybe next week, maybe yeah, next week Wednesday night. We'll see. But yeah, catch you in the next battle report or the video. Should have another one coming out soon. In a couple of days. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how he turned out overall. Another member for the cult. All right, well, I'm gonna call it and head on upstairs and go to bed. It's starting to get late. So, thanks for joining me. Catch you later.